What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Bible Wisdom. On today's episode, today's show, today's video, I'm going to be talking about the New Jerusalem, and then I also wanted to bring up a Bible verse that I haven't gotten a chance to actually look up where this Bible verse is, but the Bible verse is talking about how I'm guessing it's in the Psalms, but I heard it through a Billy Graham book. And he said, let us learn to number our days so that we may gain a heart of wisdom. And so basically, to number our days is to really think about our time here on earth. Of course, this is my interpretation of what it means to number our days. Maybe there's another meaning, but what I think it means is to really think about, how long we're going to be on earth, how long our life is or should be. I guess we don't exactly know how many years we're gonna live, but I think when we think about numbering our days, maybe we can also think about how long we have lived and think about what we've gone through. And it says when we do that, we'll gain a heart of wisdom. And I encourage you to Google that Bible verse. And so this channel is about wisdom. It's in particular, this channel is about the wisdom from the Bible. And so, what we can do is think, if we want to have a heart of wisdom, to gain a heart of wisdom, number our days and just think about, well, I'm going to live, if God grants us long life, we live X amount of years, and that is a sort of a way of numbering our days. And then, like I said, we can also think about how long we have already lived, and think about, wow, I was a baby, I was in middle school, I was in elementary school, I was in high school, and then I was in college. And then, kind of thinking about the years, I was 10 years old, I was 5 years old, I was 12 years old, 15 years old, and now I'm, 29. And, I think that's numbering our days as well. And through that process, when we start to number our days, we will gain a heart of wisdom. And I think it just has to do with really putting life in perspective. But the second thing I wanted to talk about on this video is the New Jerusalem. We're headed to the New Jerusalem. I hopefully want to visit Israel one day and, visit the Jerusalem that is there now. Of course, I've heard that Jerusalem has been, invaded a few different times, and then also it's been rebuilt, and the Bible talks about that. But also, we're headed to a new Jerusalem, and Jerusalem, we have to remember, Jerusalem, if I remember correctly, it means peace. So Jerusalem means peace, the city of peace. Hopefully I'm quoting that correctly. Hopefully I remembered that correctly. But anyway, we're headed to a New Jerusalem. And Jesus, he's going to bring down the New Jerusalem from heaven. It's been being built since the foundation of the world. Excuse me. And it's a place where righteousness dwells. A place where right living is going to take place. And, I think we have to think about that, and it kind of ties into numbering our days, where we can also think about where we're headed. We're not just living life and dying and ceasing to exist. God is real, and the God of the Bible is God, and He created everything, and we're headed to a place where He's gonna dwell with us. So that's awesome. And I think when we think about the New Jerusalem, I think about, a little bit about what type of city it's going to be, what are all the things that we're going to do, and then also thinking about how God, He can do anything, and so what are the things that God is going to be up to? What are some new things that God is going to do, throughout eternity. So that's kind of a fun thing to think about. So anyway, are you thinking about the New Jerusalem? Are you thinking about heaven? And are you preparing for heaven? Jesus said that we can actually, I don't know how it's actually going to take place, but, we can actually be rewarded and start to get things by what we do here on earth. We can store up treasures for ourselves in heaven. And, Jesus describes how to do that throughout the Gospels, in different places. He said, even if you give a cup of cold water to one of his disciples, you won't lose your reward. And you'll be rewarded for just even doing something as simple as that. And so that could mean just being nice to a Christian, another Christian, you'll be rewarded. And so, it's important to think about that. There's a great book that is actually on audiobook. It's by Randy Alcorn. And it's called Heaven. You've probably heard of it by now. If you've probably seen it, but if you haven't actually read it or listened to it, it's actually really good. And even though he does a lot of speculation, because you can't actually know facts necessarily about all the different details. But one thing he brings out in that book is that heaven is going to be a lot like earth in many aspects. A lot of the good parts of earth that we have here, that's going to take place in heaven. So, he talked about good relationships, good, things that we have here with relationships, whether that be conversation or just fellowship, that's going to be happening in heaven. He talked about working. We're going to have things to do for us and work is not going to be like it can be here, where it's more of a burden, more of a, sweat of our brow type of thing. And it's more of a frustration. And he talked about how he brought out some points that heaven is going to be a place where there's not going to be frustration, where there's sorrow or sadness from work, or from, there's not going to be any pain. And so it's worth your time. So anyway, that's it for today's video. I just wanted to talk about the New Jerusalem for a little bit. I have more videos where I kind of talk a lot about it a little bit more. But I think that is all I wanted to cover. So thanks for checking out this channel. As you can see, I have some boxes. I just moved. So, okay. I will talk to you on the next podcast. So thanks for watching, and see ya.